Welcome to the Buying Agents Association podcast. This is where we bring together exporters, buyers, and sourcing professionals to share insights on global trade and industry trends. Each episode highlights opportunities, challenges, and strategies that matter for global supply chain and wider sourcing community. Let's dive into today's discussion. Today we have with us Cynthia Zeller. Cynthia is a legend and a veteran buyer in the furnishing and furniture industry. She has experience of more than 40 years. She started off her career as a product manager at Esprit. Is that correct?
Esprit.
She started off her career as a product manager at Esprit. Then she served as the global sourcing director for Newell Rubbermaid, and then as vice president international operations for Fedco Home, and then vice president of global sourcing at Brewster Home Fashions. A long journey. She now serves as the president and head of customer relations at the Global Decor Collective. GDC is a global home decor and furniture wholesaler, and GDC distributes home decor goods into the US, Canada, Australia, Europe. She's a global traveler, and she sources goods from 800 plus factories in India, Vietnam, Indonesia, China, Malaysia, and rest of the world. She works with major North American and global retailers and helps them in designing and sourcing their home decor products. In a way, we can say that she has literally designed how Americans live. Thanks for taking out time for this, Cynthia, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'd have to just correct you a little bit. I understand the tastes of the retailers versus shaping them. So I'm very intuitive with what they need, and that's my focus that I have. So it's in my best interest to make sure that the products we source for them or design for them actually sell well.
Yeah. See, she's very customer-centric. So Cynthia, let's dive right into it. With all this happening in the world, how do you see the global sourcing landscape evolving in 2026 and the coming years?
Well, it's been a difficult year, but I think that people will continue to look for multiple sources for their product in order to have a range of product and range of quality and a range of safety in some cases, of making sure that you don't have disruption in your supply chain if something changes in one part of the world or the other. So I think people will continue to utilize more than just China or just India so that they can balance their risk.
Makes sense. And what drives your choice of sourcing destinations?
Well, because we like to have better quality goods. Years ago, I shifted to India as my primary source. India, maybe Indonesia, because you can get quality products. And in India, it's such a craftsman country. So I know if I have wood items or textiles, I can get the best in the world. You cannot get that anywhere else in the world other than India, because the way India is set up now, you have pockets of craftsmen. You know, you might be in Moradabad, or you might be in Panipat for textiles, or you might be in Jaipur or Jaipur, and you go there because they're all experts in that field, and it guarantees that you will have the best quality product to supply your customers.
Makes sense. And how does India specifically compare with other countries like China or other countries in Southeast Asia?
Well, India, generally, working with the people we've worked with, I would say Indians are very optimistic, and they never say no to opportunities. So it's been very positive. I mean, just being here in India is very positive because the culture is so lovely. You know, I call it colorful chaos, but working with the factories has been very positive because they are willing to take what I need in order to make it happen. So the only thing is a little bit over-promising. You have to just be careful of in that process.
So diving a little bit deeper into that, what are some of the challenges you face when you're sourcing from India?
Well, just that you have to make sure that the factory understands the compliances that we require, and the timing. So if they tell me it can be done in 75 days, I really have to count on that. And sometimes that doesn't happen. So I always say to the factories, be honest with me. Like, I know you're being always positive and optimistic, but it's better to be able to deliver on time. And I first came to India over 30 years ago, and I was in the apparel industry then, in textiles. And obviously in 30 years, I've seen huge evolution in the capabilities and all that. And back then, we had to air freight product out of India because you couldn't rely on the infrastructure or the everybody being able to hit the timing we needed. So to mitigate that, we would air freight all of our apparel out of India, and we then were successful in India. But now, 30 years later, we don't air freight anything. We can't afford to, especially in our new home textiles or decor, three-dimensional products, which are too much freight. So now I just have to really rely on the sourcing teams here to be really strong, to be really managing the suppliers, to keep on the schedule that they promised. Because at the end of the day, my promise to the customers has to be met. Otherwise, I lose credibility, which means I would lose sales, not only for myself, but for the factory as well.
So what are some of the things that you value in, a sourcing agency or a sourcer for you from India?
Let me say, understanding our market. So listening, if I say that, because we supply so many countries around the world and so many products, each one might be specifically a bit different. So if I'm shipping to Australia or Canada, I might have different requirements, whether it's compliance or what they're expecting from us. So I need the sourcing agents to be able to be very flexible, to be managing the factories well. And I think that's probably the most important aspect of it.
Makes sense. And do you know about the IMM India Furniture and Interior Show, which is launching on March 26th? It's basically the Indian version of the renowned IMM Cologne show, which I'm sure you've visited many times. So what are your expectations from the new show? And how do you see it impacting, India's furniture and interior industry?
Well, I have very high expectations because I think that's one of the best products I get out of India is the furniture. So I think it will create, I assume, a boom in the business in India, like a shift of manufacturing, which could be to my disadvantage if I lose my factory capacity. But I think it's a really positive thing. And you'll have a lot of furniture people coming here for that show.
So I think it's a great initiative. We should have more such shows in India.
I agree.
How important do you think are sustainability and ethical sourcing for your clients?
Most of them is extremely important. And it is a marketing thing as well. You put it on the product that this has been recycled or this has been fair trade produced, that type of thing. It's important. I think there's more awareness, especially internationally, not as much in the US, but definitely in every other country in the world, that that's an important aspect. And we do call it out on the product.
Makes sense. Cynthia, how do FTAs and tariff changes affect your sourcing decisions?
Well, we have to try to work around it. I mean, when this situation with the tariff happened this year, I never ever considered jumping countries just to avoid the tariff. And good thing we didn't do that because everybody got the tariff. Yeah. It wasn't just isolated to India. But I think it's also not right to do something like that because you have to protect your suppliers too. And you have to fulfill obligations and you have to get creative as to how can you change the product so maybe it shifts the HTS code in the US. We also shifted quite a bit this year to selling more overseas and not in the US, or having our largest retailers pick up goods either at the port or another option rather than bringing in just stock, because at that inflated cost, it can't possibly be passed on to the consumers. They won't pay that price. So we had to pivot quite a bit, how do I change the product? So it's, for example, not all metal. How do I shift, this production that I had for the US and ship it to Canada instead of shipping it to the US, that type of thing.
Makes sense. So you really held on to your suppliers from what I can
Yes.
understand, right? So it's very important for all the suppliers to be loyal to their buyers when things get bad.
Right.
And buyers do the same.
Right.
And what is the kind of compliance and certifications that you expect from your suppliers?
Whatever is required by the country and for the product specifically, it's very important to us. Again, it's the whole process along the way of our credibility and never make it. I mean, quality control in every aspect of it is critical to the final product and to the final relationship with the customer, because the customer can come to me and see these beautiful products, but if we, which I mean we as in the sourcing team, cannot execute, then you've just ruined the relationship and any long-term growth. So that we overemphasize quality control, compliance, and staying on the lead times that are committed to protect our credibility.
Makes sense. And I agree with you here. These are very important things for any Indian supplier to take care of.
Right. And not overpromise, not be too optimistic.
Yeah. And what are some of the things that are red flags for you when you work with a supplier?
Again, it's the overpromising and then not being able to deliver. So I'd rather be realistic with the supplier and have them tell me what they can actually do and what they can actually hit. And we should all be making a profit. We don't want to squeeze a supplier to a point where it's not profitable for them, and then maybe they can't get the raw materials and deliver the order. So it's being cautious of all that and having that open communication through the sourcing company and the suppliers that, we have to do this straightforward. We have to be reasonable about it and not overpromise.
So communication is the key.
100%. Positivity is always good, but it has to be realistic too.
Makes sense. And what trends do you foresee in hard goods, handicraft, and furniture sourcing going forward?
It's still going to be about the quality and the craftsmanship. I think people want to have things for their home that make them happy and make them feel comfortable. Less of a commodity type item, and something that they can cherish and they can keep in their family for a long time. I think, at least from the American perspective, I think eventually people will want to have less disposable product. They want to have something that they're proud of in their home or to give as a gift, which, as I've always said, that the quality out of India and of the, in this category of decor is the best in the world.
Makes sense. And lastly, Cynthia, what advice would you give to an Indian MSME or an Indian factory who wants to enter global markets?
Oh, geez. Find a good partner in the U.S. I was lucky with my sourcing. The thing that happened is this person approached me, and he was one of many before. But I had had that prior experience in India 30 years ago, and I had seen that there was a lot of, I can do it, and then not being able to deliver. So when this person approached me, I said, let's walk before we run. Let's just build up our relationship and our trust and see how things go. And he said, that's fine with me. And that was shocking to me. I didn't expect that answer, because usually there's a lot of push to make something happen and rush into it. But if you can show that you would rather be conservative and do it right, that's the best approach, because it builds up trust.
And how long have you been with that sourcing agent?
Oh, I've lost track. It feels like a long time. So maybe 14, 15 years at least now.
That's a long
and
time.
A lot of growth. He's made a lot of money, and so have I. So no, it's been a really good partnership, but that's what it is. The bottom line is trust. You've got to trust that their sourcing team follows through with what the requirements are from the very beginning to the very end. From the shipping and the delivery and the quality and the compliance. It's pretty straightforward. The easy part is showing the customer a product that they like and that they want The hardest part is the sourcing team's job.
Makes sense. So if you're a right partner, that's the key to success. Thank you for your time, Cynthia.
You're welcome. Thank
I had
you.
a lovely time chatting with you.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah.